I'm a Gito, she know, he know. The streets know I get 'em by the kilo. Me know, if you need those, holler on a dealer. I'm a Gito, she know, he know. The streets know I get 'em by the kilo. Me know, if you need those, holler on a dealer.
Yo, what's going on, Facebook? Just wanted to do a little show today for my father's birthday. Anybody that knows me knows, on Father's Day. Well, first of all, rest in peace to my father. I lost my pops November 3rd, 2014. So just in case you didn't know, to cancer, fuck cancer. Anytime on my father's birthday, the day he passed, or Father's Day, I always have a steak dinner with pops. So I do got the little steak getting seasoned up, marinating, sitting good. Decided this year also add a little shrimp to the mix, so got the shrimp right there ready to go, waiting on that. But I always do a steak dinner, a shot, and a movie with my pops every year, so got a little Courvoisier for pops. And obviously, anytime I do a little poolside chat, we doing stove side chat today. I'm actually in the kitchen, gonna make this meal for pops. But I just wanted to, honor my father, let everybody know that. Even though he's gone, he's not forgotten. And if anybody's out there who want to take a shot with me, what's up, Rory? How you doing, bro? Janine, how you doing? But if anybody out there, if you at home, you want to take a shot for rest in peace, Coach Miles, man, y'all feel free. Not doing the red cups today, in honor of Pops. We're gonna do a little classy. Got the glass shot cups today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anybody that's out there, man, that wants to take a shot with me for my father, man, y'all help yourselves. It's not going to be the only shot I'm taking. Taking one right now just to get the show started. So one for me and my pops. Rest in peace, Coach Miles. And pour one out for pops. Not sipping out the red cup today. I got the sifter. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be fancy. But yeah, I just wanted to briefly just chit chat and talk a little bit about, the importance of having your father in your life. Myself, I'm not a father. I don't have any children. You know what I'm saying? But I do have a lot of my close friends that they all have children, and thankfully, they're all fathers in their children's lives. And I just want to talk to that point, man. Like, it's really a blessing to be able to grow up with your old man and really have that strength, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing about my father especially, there's a lot of things you can't talk to your friends about, and there's a lot of things that even when talking to your friends about, especially being a black male, young black male growing up in an urban environment, there's certain things that they not gonna keep it 100% real with you about, you know what I mean? So, hold on, Brandon saying something, what she's saying, the backsplash in my kitchen. Yeah. I tried to make sure it was clean before I recorded, man. I didn't want to be in here with the dirty kitchen, dishes all in the kitchen and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But definitely love for the fathers, man, because a lot of times, your friends might have your best interests at heart, and they might not. They might, be some wild niggas just like you. So it's good to be able to have my father, who was a wild nigga, don't get me wrong, but I was blessed enough to be able to talk to him about anything. I'm talking about sex, drugs, guns, violence, school, sports, athletics. And these are things that no matter how strong you are as a mother, sometimes your son can't really have that conversation with you. And that's no diss to the mothers whatsoever. It's nothing like that at all. It's nothing like that at all, but there's no diss to the mothers. It's just that there's nothing like, having your father in your life. There's no way that you can quantify that in words, because I know for a fact there were several situations, and anyone that knows me personally knows that my grandmother means a lot to me, and this is my mother definitely means a lot to me too. But I was in the household with my grandparents and my father, so I saw my mother from time to time, but I saw my grandmother and my pops every single day, and everybody knows the relationship that I do have with my grandmother, but it pales in comparison to what I had with my father, to the things that we were able to talk about and the things that he was able to show me. And just just to be able to go out in the front yard and catch a pass from my father, to catch the football, like throw the football back and forth with my father, or to go to the backyard and be able to take a couple of jump shots, you know what I'm saying? And like, my father really taught me how to become a man even as a child. And my father taught me a lot just by being there, because especially in my era, that was the beginnings of the era where it wasn't really popular to be a father. A lot of my friends growing up didn't have their pops with them. Like when my pops passed, one of my close homies in the neighborhood, he said, man, your father raised the whole neighborhood. You know what I mean? And like, that was one of the most touching things that was said to me, because I knew that being a father wasn't normal and it wasn't popular around the time when my father was a father. He wasn't, and he just wasn't a father. He was a best friend. So like, I'm saying all that to say, all my homies out there, any of my Facebook friends that happen to be watching this, if you have children, whether it's sons, daughters, whatever it is, there's nothing that can replace the love of a father as for your child coming up. And like, no matter what type of relationship you have with your baby's mother, or the child of your father, or your girlfriend or your wife, whatever that relationship might be, never let that hinder what you got going with your child. Shouts out to my homie Juice, man. Like, he inspired me a lot when I was able to sit down with him and have him on my show and talk about, fight for yours. Like, fight, like, no matter what the courts tell you, no matter what people around you are telling you, no matter what the rift is between yourself and the mother of that child, fight to be in that child's life, no matter what. Like, that's so important. Like, you can never replace the love of a father. It cannot happen. And I can speak to that wholeheartedly because I had that. And it's like such a blessing. And also shouts out to my homie Paco, man, of the DMST podcast. Like, I listen to his show faithfully, and I listen to, and because, like, we really true friends. We really brothers, you know what I'm saying? And I've sat down and, like, had some drinks with him and seen him talk about how much it pains him that his baby mother's keeping his child from him. So, and I've seen him, because he has more than one child, I've seen him interact with his child. I've seen him have his little girl over there, and I know what it means to be a father. So to all you men out there that have children and you're not in your child's life, whatever the reason is, man, you got to understand that you got to somehow, some way make it into that child's life, no matter what you got to do. I'm talking about if you got to travel across the country, travel across the state to go, visit your child, or if you got to pay for a plane ticket, do that shit, man. Because I can promise you I wouldn't be half the man I am today if it wasn't for my pops. The love of a father cannot be replaced. It was just said in the live, and I agree with it 100%. You can never replace the love of a father. And this is coming from someone that had a very strong grandmother in the house. Like, my grandmother, like, she was the go-to for everything, and she still couldn't have been, quote unquote, man enough to replace my pops. You know what I'm saying? My father still was like essential in the whole process. Like, there's no way that I can even put it into words, like how much of a friend he was. Like, when I say a friend, like, my father is who I caught football passes from, who I took jump shots with, who I played Super Mario with, who I played Sonic the Hedgehog with, Tecmo Bowl. Like, he helped me start my football and baseball and basketball card collections. You know what I mean? Like, all of these things, he wasn't just a father. He was literally my best friend. Like, I remember before he passed, I used to tell people, like, if I get married, my pops is going to be my best man. Just because, like, he really was my best friend. And when I say he got me into sports, he helped me with even the sports I wasn't good at. Like, I was trash at baseball, man. Shouts out to everybody that was on my baseball team. We was terrible. I mean, no, excuse me. We was good, but I was terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was good because of Lenny and Ron. They was dope. The rest of us, we was all right. We was cool. You know what I'm saying? I just was good because I was older than everybody else. I was kind of like, I think I was the oldest person on the team. I played first base. And I was long, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to, like, really, really stretch out there. But if it wasn't for Ron pitching and Lenny knocking the shit out the ball, like, we was trash. But, like, my pop still was there. He really ain't know a lot about baseball, but he was still there as a coach. He was still there as a mentor, as a cheerleader. He was everything, and everybody that knows me knows my pops was essential when it comes to Mifflin Sharks football. So, like, when it comes to football, he was there. He was a coach, a best friend, a motivator, and he coached several teams to championships. You know what I'm saying? Like to this day, Mifflin Sharks football still, is thriving and doing a whole lot, based off some of the groundwork that my pops put in, like 20, 30 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like between 20, 30 years, because I'm 38, so I had, this 20 plus years ago, and like the Mifflin Sharks football team is still putting in work to this day, you know what I mean? And shouts out Northeast Rec Center too. I think it's called Coach Howard Rec Center now, which me personally, I never saw Coach Howard in Northeast. I remember something like when my pops passed, somebody told me they need to rename Northeast after my pops. Especially like Fish and Wings was right across the street, you know what I'm saying? And I know my pops put in work there. He wasn't the best coach at Northeast. There was some other coaches that had a little bit more going for them. And I never was great at hoop either, you know what I'm saying? Like all the hoop teams, everybody on the team was better than me. I was a role player. I just like to play defense and foul niggas and get rebounds, you know what I'm saying? I wish I was like 6'6". I'd have been like a Barkley type motherfucker. I was never, like I was born in the body of a two guard, but I played like a power forward, you know what I'm saying? But I was never great at basketball or baseball. Football was my sport. That was my love. I liked hitting motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I say all that to just say this, man. I really just urge all of you fathers out there to be fathers and to be in your child's life, because there's nothing that can replace that, man. And shouts out Adrian Lampkin, man. Like Andre Lampkin, that was one of my teammates, man. Speaking of Mifflin Sharks football and speaking of fatherhood, man. Shouts out Dre Lampkins, man. Dre was a real one. Dre is a real one. Let me correct that. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, all you fathers, man, just make sure you're doing what you can to be a part of your child's life, no matter what it takes, no matter what it. There's no trade-off for not being in your child's life. There's nothing that you can say like, oh, well, I wasn't in my child's life because my baby mom's wasn't shit and she was keeping me from this and keeping me from that. Nah, you got to figure that out. Some sort of way, somehow, you just got to make that happen. Like, there's no trade-off for being a father, man. And like, I really do envy like a lot of my friends that have children. Like, I've been real big on not having children until I get married, and I've just been out here just not, haven't had had luck and love. I guess I don't know if it's because I'm just out here thotting it up, or if it's just because bitches ain't shit. I'm sure it's probably somewhere in the middle. A little bit of my thought actions and a little bit of these hoes ain't shit. But that'll be another topic for another day. Right now, we celebrating fathers and we celebrating fatherhood, and we definitely just saying happy birthday to my pops. Anybody that wants to take a drink with me for my pops, man, y'all more than welcome to. And another topic that I really wanted to touch on was mental health, and the reason why I wanted to touch on that is because it wasn't until after my father passed, and it was like maybe close to a year. You know what? Nah, it might have been around this time, that first birthday. I think it might have been that first birthday, or maybe that first Father's Day after my father passed, that it finally dawned on me that I hadn't dealt with that shit, and I hadn't even really properly thought about dealing with it. Like, I really hadn't figured out a way to realize that I still was dealing with the loss of my father and the loss of my absolute best friend. And especially, this is something that I talk about a lot, especially in the black community. We don't know how to properly recognize mental health issues and depression and anxiety. And anytime a nigga's depressed, it's more like, nigga, man up, man. You gotta suck that shit up, and you gotta move on. And there's a difference between being depressed and suffering from depression. That's something that I had to learn. That's something that I really had to learn, because I really thought that, I'm just having a bad moment, and I'm gonna tough my way through it, because that's just normal. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We tough our way through shit. And it really took, because it was more than just my pops. It was more than the fact that I was dealing with the loss of my father. It was a lot of shit. I wasn't happy with my love life. I wasn't happy with work. I wasn't happy with my living situation. Like it's a lot of shit that's just really like was weighing on me. And I really, man, shouts out to my job, man. What's up, P. Diddy? Appreciate you, bro. Shouts out to my job, because my job is really a great job, man. Like they really have a lot of resources for us. Like a meeting to like explain your benefits to you. You know what I'm saying? It was like talking about all the benefits that are available to you. And one of the things that was available was like complimentary therapists, like complimentary therapy. Like you could go and like get 8 sessions free of charge. All you got to do is just, make a phone call, and the only reason I even like thought about it, because like that ain't no shit that niggas do. That ain't no shit that we even think is normal. Like we ain't no therapists in the hood, in the urban, and like that. That's just not normal. Like we don't have, especially for black men. So the only reason I even like kind of had like a grasp of like looking for mental health issues and looking for like depression and shit like that is because of the young lady I was dating at the time. She was going through it and she had a therapist, and like she really educated me a lot on mental health issues and recognizing depression and recognizing the difference between just having a bad day and having a depressed moment and actually like battling depression and battling anxiety or having panic attacks or like having suicidal thoughts. I never had no suicidal thoughts, thank God. I really started realizing like I'm in a bad place. Like I'm really in a slump. Like it's some shit going on with me. So I went and I spoke with a therapist, and she was dope, man. She really helped me a lot. She helped me a lot. She helped me see a lot. She helped me get through a lot. But one thing that I felt we weren't connecting, it was a white woman that I was talking to. And like, I'm not trying to like make this a racial issue, but I felt like a white person could not understand completely the issues of a black man, especially a white woman. Like, I just didn't think that she could completely understand. And this is no diss to her. I'm not really trying to make this a black-white thing. I just feel that, like, when you are a black man growing up in certain environments, the only way someone's really going to understand you is if they've been in the exact same shoes, in the exact same situation that you had. So, after I did my 8 sessions with her, I moved on to my insurance, and I had I through my insurance I was still able to like go see a therapist or a psychiatrist, whatever they might be called, who knows, on my own dime, but at a great discount, like a really great discount. And I went through the list, and I was purposely looking for a black man because I really wanted to have this conversation with a black man, and there were none. There were none. There were no therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever you want, like whatever they are. There was none. There was no black man whatsoever. Luckily, I found a black woman, and I signed up for some sessions with her. And I sat down in the first session. I told her off top, like, I've been in therapy, for 8 sessions for 8 weeks, so I guess 2 months now. And it was with a white woman, and I told her it was very important for me to speak to a black psychiatrist or a black counselor or a black therapist. And she had been doing this for 20 years, and she told me I was the first black male that she's ever had as a client. That no black man in her entire career had been a client of hers in a 20-year career. And that let me know a lot that, like, I wasn't bugging, I wasn't tripping on feeling like this is some shit that, like, black folk really just don't take serious. Or it's not that I'm not going to say take serious, that we know about. Because in our schools and in us growing up, man, this ain't nothing that we learn about. We don't learn about mental health. We don't learn about depression. Like, it's just, it doesn't exist. It does not exist in, you know what? I'm speaking for public schools. Private schools might be a little different. I don't know. But like in Columbus public schools, man, we don't learn nothing about economics and financial planning. We don't learn nothing about like your mental health. We really don't learn skills to get us ready for the real world. And it's pitiful, man. It's terrible. And like growing up, I say this a lot, and I talk about this a lot, like a soldier will go off to war and see 2 or 3 of their friends murdered or killed or whatever, and they've got PTSD and they fucked up for the rest of their life. They go into therapy and like they got to learn how to get back into society. But we'll grow up in these urban areas and whatnot, and we'll see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 of our friends killed and don't come to school the next day. And it's just regular life. It's just business as usual. It's just go to school the next day. And nobody ever like thinks about our mental health, and nobody ever thinks about our PTSD or what we might be suffering from. And this is shit that we've all grown up with. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, which really ain't the rowdiest of the rowdy, but I mean, you know, it's ghettos everywhere. And I promise you, I can name at least 20 of my homies that like didn't make it to see 25. You know what I'm saying? Didn't make it to see 20. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, like somebody get shot or stabbed, and we just go to school the next day. We just, you know, just regular business, man. Regular business. And we go through this, and a lot of times we don't have our fathers in our lives. We don't have our fathers to like be able to have this conversation with, and then we grow up fucked up, and we don't know why. We wonder why. Like mental health is it's like a unicorn in the black community. It's a fucking myth. Like if you see it, it's like a 4-leaf clover or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that you're not going to identify and recognize whatsoever. Because the second you start talking about, oh, I'm depressed, or you know, I'm feeling a certain way about my relationship, or I'm feeling a certain way about losing my pops, or I'm feeling a certain way about losing my homeboy, the shit just does not happen. And it's like, matter of fact, speaking of people we lost too early, man, shouts out to the Goulamez family, man. You know, it's like speaking of people we lost way too early. That's crazy that it comes up like that. And like we go on with our everyday lives. We go on with things, and we don't even recognize. Because a lot of people always tell me, like, since I don't have no children, I should like be like a big brother, big sister type shit or something, or like maybe I should start coaching. And shouts out my homie Chris, man. He's a football coach down here in LA, and I have thought about coaching. Because I got a lot of football knowledge. I can get some little niggas, man. I feel like I create great safety. There's going to be a safety one of these days. It's going to come from up under me. I don't know if he's going to be my seed or just a little nigga I mentor, but who knows, man. But yeah, like the mental health in the black community, it's just, it don't exist, man. It's not something that's talked about. And then when we start to, thank God, like it's starting to shift. It's starting to change. Like I've been on something here lately where I really I want men to understand it's okay to share feelings and have emotions, and I want men to understand that it's okay to like, you know, like check in on your mental health and like realize that like nigga, you fucked up. Like it's some shit that's fucked up with you, and it ain't even your fault, my nigga. It's just like it's shit that just happens, and like we all have shit that happens, and we all deal with it different ways. And like you as a black man, like you could just be being strong and toughing through that shit, or you could be like just putting it to the back and not really accepting it, not really like coming full circle with it and realizing like, yo, I'm having a bad fucking month. I ain't having a bad day. I'm having a bad month. I'm having a bad 6 months. Like I really need to sit down and talk to somebody. And sometimes just talking to your homies ain't enough. Sometimes just talking to your lady ain't enough. Sometimes you really do need to sit down with a trained professional that can identify this shit. And I ain't saying like go get on no fucking pills and let these motherfuckers start prescribing you shit, because I ain't for none of that. That's one thing I told both of my therapists, the white lady and the black lady. I told them, don't give me no pills. I don't want no nothing. We ain't doing none of that. Right? You ain't gonna prescribe me some shit to have me all zoned the fuck out and whatever. Nigga, we gonna talk and you gonna give me some advice and we gonna work through it that way. I ain't doing none of these pills, man. I ain't doing none of these pills. I'm not doing it. I done seen some of my father's friends, as a matter of fact, they diagnosed them with all that bullshit and started to put them on pills. And I seen them motherfuckers slip away. Like, we ain't doing none of that. And that's another thing to the fathers too, man. Fathers and mothers both, man. Like, don't be letting these so-called whatever the fucks like talk about your child hyper and your child got ADHD and this and that and all this whatever the fuck, and want to start putting your child on kid. Man, all kids is hyper. All children is hyper. All children have attention issues. Like, don't nobody want to sit and just listen to some shit. Like, we children, right? Don't let these doctors and whatnot tell you your child is hyper and he got an issue or this or like whatever, and start like trying to medicate your children, man. Don't do that. Like, man, get a second opinion, because children are going to be children. We all been hyper and wild and crazy and whatever, man. Like all these pills and shit. None of that. But before I get sidetracked, but yeah, I just wanted to on my father's birthday, do something a little different. I'm about to get up in the kitchen. Got the steak going. Steak over here. Got the peppers all cut up. Got the Worcester sauce, all that. Got the shrimp. Got corn for a side dish. I think I'm gonna do some of these potatoes. My grandmama every year she hit me off with some of this right here, which I know about that. It's backwards right now, but y'all know what it is. My grandmama always hit me off with some of that, but like she got some side dishes. I got some little potatoes au gratin I might throw in there to go along with Pops. With Pops' dinner tonight. I done spilled some of my Worcester sauce. I hope y'all ain't see that. But yeah, man. Happy birthday to the old man. Shit, he'd have been what, 58 today? Is that right? Yeah, he would have been 58 today. March 23rd, 1960. We lost him on November 3rd, 2014. So it's been gone 3.5 years now. Gone but not forgotten. You know what I'm saying? That's Pops. That's Pops right there for anybody that don't know. You know what I'm saying? People always say we twins. I don't know. I don't think we look alike, but people always say we look alike. But there go Pops right there. You know what I'm saying? Cool as can be, man. With the motherfucking night owl glasses on. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in to celebrate my father, to wish my father happy birthday. I'm going to take a quick shot to get up out of here. Anybody that happen to be drinking with me, man, y'all welcome to drink with me. And I'm going to keep on sipping good for the rest of the evening. I got a whole bottle of Courvoisier. Hopefully somebody pull up on me so I don't drink this shit by myself. But yeah, we're going to pour up one time for Pops. Anybody out there got your little sippy? Y'all sip good with me one time. But yeah, definitely, man, to all y'all out there, this fathers, man, y'all do whatever y'all can to be in your child's life, man. Do whatever you can. I don't care what the situation is. There's nothing that can replace a father's love. And that's to my heart, man. Shouts out my homie Playboy James just jumped in. I feel like my nigga snuck off work to come jump in with me real quick, man. You just in time to take this shot with Pops, man. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all. Happy birthday, Pops. And then pour out the shot for the old man. But yeah, man. Poolside chats, stove side today. I'm about to get in this kitchen, do a little something. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, like, let me show y'all real quick since. But yeah, I got it ready to go. Got the foreman where the steak gonna be on the foreman. The shrimp gonna get right here in this little griddle. Corn in here, and I think I might I don't know what I'm gonna do with these potatoes au gratin. I don't know if I'm gonna fry them or bake them or what. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man, just coming in and celebrating my Pops with me, man. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all in a minute. Love y'all.
I'm a Gito, she know, he know. The streets know I get 'em by the kilo. Me know, if you need those, holler on a dealer. I'm a Gito, she know, he know. The streets know I get 'em by the kilo. Me know.